All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's Campus Connection. We have a very special guest. Current students will notice a familiar face with us today, and we will chat with her in just a minute. If you're with us, make sure you put a comment. Even if you're watching on the replay, comment. We want to hear from you. Let us know how you're doing. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to leave them there too. So it's a gloomy day, but our guest today is going to bring the sunshine, as she always does. So with us today is State System at Center City Operations Manager, Keeya Faison. Hi, Keeya. Thank you so much for joining our little show.
So honored to be with you guys today, my Westchester family.
Welcome.
And it's great to see you as always. You know, this is our little family, our little work family. And
it is.
It's strange for all of us to not get to see each other every day as we're used to also. So, like many of our students and many people who are struggling right now through a transition to working remotely, we're kind of having to do more things at home, having your whole family at home. Keeya, I know that you are home with your kids, with grandkids, you've got little ones, you've got plenty of people there while you're still trying to do your job, at home well. So talk to us a little bit about how you're managing that.
So let me just share with everybody that kind of knows me. I think that most of our viewers know who I am. I'm actually an extrovert, so I'm speaking to all the extroverts as well as introverts. It was a little bit challenging for me because, of course, I was the last one actually to leave out of the office. I think I stopped working on March the 20th at the physical location, and transitioning home. It was a little bit challenging for me because I'm used to interacting with the people. I'm a people person, so I had to find strategic ways to work because when I first came home, of course, when I come home, I'm a grandmother, not a mommy. I have three grown daughters, and then I have 5 grandchildren. So at that time when I came home, I was watching my baby girl's kids in conjunction with the 2 grandchildren that live here with me physically. And of course, when grandma's around, they want grandma's attention. So I had to find a way to navigate working with these little people around and still get my assignments and tasks done. So, the first week I was struggling. I will be honest, it was not easy because I wanted to give them my attention and I wanted to interact with them. So I found that I was getting more work done in the afternoon than the morning times because they wanted to have breakfast with me. And I think my other grandkids that didn't live with me were coming here like 6 a.m. in the morning. So it was a little bit challenging. So I strategically over the weekend, the first weekend, I was like, okay, I have to get work done. I wasn't getting my assignments in on time. And that was a problem. So what I did was I set slots in my day, right? I had to look at my schedule, what was important, what I had to have in by 12 or 2 or 3 or by the end of the day. In the morning, I had breakfast with them. So you have to because you're going to have to work with your family. You're in the house, right? I had to have breakfast with the grandkids. So between 8 and 9, before I went on the clock for work, I had breakfast. I sat with them. At this time, they weren't getting homework. They didn't have homework. They didn't have to check in on the computer. So many of our children nowadays are on the computer at the same time we're working and they may need your attention. I do have my daughter here with me, but I wanted to spend time with them because they want to spend time with me. So between 8 and 9 was breakfast. My lunch hour I would have with them. And then it was nap time. So all of my grandkids are between the ages of 1 and 10. And so even my 10-year-old had to take a break. And those were the times that I would begin to work. So my work day really started after 12 o'clock. I would do a little email checking in the morning. Between 9 and 12, I would do my emails. I would do my response to my emails. I would check the phone lines at the office, things of that nature. And then plan out my afternoon tasks in order of priority. So I found that my afternoons are more productive than my mornings. So you have to find out when you're most productive. If you're not a morning person and you're not productive in the morning, of course, work on the afternoon, get your tasks together the night before, kind of let the kids know. Like I had to share with my grandkids, although grandma's physically here with you, I have work to get done. You know what I mean? So you got to respect that when I'm going on live. I do a lot of webinars. I'm doing a lot of Zoom with different teams. And so you got to incorporate your life now with your children. And it's a little bit challenging, but we can get it done. I think that when we let them know how important it is for us to get the work done and then incorporate time for them. So I take walks with them sometimes for lunch. I do walks. Hey guys, listen, Grandma's going to take you guys and give you a nice treat at the end of the day if you let me get this one task done. And they kind of abide by the rule. You know what I mean? So you have to give them incentives, but you have to make them also feel a part of your day, your work day. You know?
Yeah,
So
I think that's really smart. And
challenging, but you got to get it done.
yeah, I think it makes sense, to kind of do what you're doing with starting the day, giving them a little bit of time, and then setting the stage for like, okay, now here's what's going to happen the rest of the day. I need to be in this meeting or that. And, it's definitely another thing that you were talking about is kind of scheduling out your day and prioritizing, because another thing I think that's difficult about working from home, especially while your kids are around, is those boundaries get blurred. So like you could end up working like essentially all day and all night, just whenever something pops up, you just do it because you're in the same setting that you were in all day doing work. Absolutely. With the same people that you were with all day doing work, so those boundaries get blurred. So I think giving yourself that kind of schedule is a really good idea.
And I also think if, like letting your supervisor know, like because we're working from home, a lot of people are used to us going into the office, working from like 9 to 5, Marcy, your schedule, Ben, your schedule. Those are adjustments for me. So I had to like let my supervisor know, hey, I would like to be in the office at 9 o'clock, but I'm dealing with the grandkids because they're physically here with me. And so as for meeting purposes for me, if you can do them after this time, it works better for my schedule. And I kind of think that we all have to kind of like work together and let people know what's working for us. I did share with her, my most productive hours is between 12 and 6 or 7 at night. You know what I mean? If I could have those hours when I go back from this pandemic, it would be wonderful. But those are my most productive times because the grandkids are either eating dinner, Shay's more involved, but you have to, because you're home, find out what's working for you, for your supervisor or your workplace to get the most out of you. You know what I mean? You still want to be productive, but unfortunately, some people can't do the morning. Some people can, maybe the afternoon is not good. Maybe it's after the kids go to bed. You have to find out really what's working for you and then share it with your supervisor so that you can still get the work done, but when it's best for you to get it done and when you can focus. I really feel bad for parents that are raising kids at home, like homeschooling their children at this point, and those kids need the actual attention of their parents during those times. You have to share all of that. You have to let people know this is where I'm at, and they understand. Yeah. We all are feeling it. We all are feeling it.
I would hope that in general, employers are, a little bit more flexible during this time, a little more understanding. But as you mentioned, communication is key. They don't know what they don't know. So you've got to be vocal.
Yeah, think about those supervisors that don't have children. They don't have any distraction. They just have maybe their cat, their dog around. You know what I mean? That's on their lap while they're working. Everybody, unfortunately, doesn't have that luxury. And there are some people that, even though they're supervisors during this pandemic, they're not as empathetic, so you really just have to be honest, and be okay with being honest, share with you, hey, this is what I can do. And this is, how I'm getting it done. When people see that you're being productive, as long as the work is getting done, timing of getting it done shouldn't even really matter. It's a lot. And mentally, I take walks and I have quiet time and I let my grandkids know grandma needs this just to function. Again, you have to just let them know, even as children, they understand. They're all feeling it. We're all feeling it together. It's just really a amazing and crazy time in our society. And it's time to reflect. I shared with Marcy and Ben and Kelly before we got onto this live that, this time has allowed me time to, find myself and find out things that I've taken for granted. You know what I mean? I'm not a person that really take people for granted, but I've taken some things for granted, and some people and the things that people do for you during this time for granted, so this is a time to really engage those people and just take some self-reflection time. It's been really great.
Yeah, that's awesome. And alone time is important, even like, absolutely, though it's hard to do now, you've got to find it. You got to make the time for yourself.
Lock yourself in the bathroom.
Yeah, do what you got to do. Yes, you're right. Take a walk, just do some laps around your house if you have to, whatever. Yeah. But I know a lot of our students have been personally affected by COVID-19, whether that's through the actual illness or financially or in whatever case. And I know, Keeya, that you have your family has been impacted as well, and you certainly don't have to give the details of that, but it's good to hear that you are doing some things for self-care, and even that kind of self-reflection, I think. Absolutely. Self-care in a way, and focusing on gratitude for what you do have and for the other people in your life that are helping you. So if you have anything else to add and how you're working that all into into your day?
Just reading. You know what? I'm doing a whole lot more reading than I used to do. I have stacks and stacks of books that I've been promising myself I was going to get to. I was in book clubs, but just taking that mental. I don't watch a whole lot of news. I only watch the 11 o'clock news at night, and that's honest. Because I found watching the news, I became a little I wasn't even getting depressed, but it was just sad. I found myself always feeling sad, like always in a mode to cry about every little thing. So I totally wiped the news off of my agenda. I watch the news at 11 o'clock, mainly for what the weather's going to be for the week, to see if there's anything I need to, follow up with, seeing what is going on in our government, just to stay aware. But I don't do a whole lot of news. I do a lot of reading, a lot of listening to good music, taking that self time, like for an hour before I take it down, exercising. I have family that was definitely impacted. Not my direct family, but I've had family that's connected to my grandchildren, a 7-year-old that has passed away. I have family members that are on ventilators, and I have friends that have come through on the other side of COVID-19. My fiance is working with people that have tested positive, and they feel he's working a lot more hours, filling in the gaps. So this has impacted all of us, and just staying positive and knowing that this is going to pass at some point, and we're going to all get through this together. That's what's important, is us getting through all of this time together. It's just so crazy. So many more people die of the flu, but here we have something that's just taking people out so much faster. We don't really understand and know a whole lot about it, but people need to take this really serious. We have to sanitize our hands, go out with our masks, call and check on our family members. I've been checking on my parents, so I'm my parents' only caregiver. So I've been checking on them. And so it's a lot. My day is full of a lot of stuff, but me, I love people. So this is what I'm in my zone when it comes down to this. If I don't know what people that I haven't talked to in a long time, forgiving people that I need to forgive. Maybe I haven't talked to a friend that, we might've had a falling out. This is the time just to life's too short. Let's not take each other for granted. Every relationship is valuable. Every relationship is valuable. So just again, reading and doing that self-care is what's been important for me, getting me through it.
Great. Yeah. And situations like this certainly show the good, the bad, and the ugly in terms of humanity, I think. And if you can find, there's definitely a whole lot of good happening out there. And if we can kind of try to find that and focus on that, I think that's helpful.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank you so much, Keeya, for being our special guest today. It's always so great to hear you. I mean, to see you and hear you.
Yes. I cannot wait till we can get back to, I can't even say the new norm, because it's going to be new all the way around. I think
it's going to feel new again.
A lot of us is going to be wiser and better and stronger. But it's some real challenging times that we're living in. And I just can't wait to where we can touch and see. I think I'm good with just seeing your faces. But it's going to be a while before we can actually physically touch, and that's but I will tell you, I think what I can appreciate during this time is how the world is coming together. Yeah. I don't want us to go back to the old way. I don't want us to go back to how we used to be, not speaking. And, I think so many people have totally taken this for what it is. And it's about community. Mm-hmm. It is about community. I speak to neighbors that I've never seen before. More people are nicer when you're in the stores. You still have some people that say, hey, you got to back up off me. You're not 6 feet. But I mean, just seeing people be more friendly or more helpful. I think I was in Wawa's recently, and a gentleman, his PIN card froze the machine. And I says, hey, I'll pay for it. He was like, no. And I was like, you're not going to argue with me. You're going to let me pay for this because I want to get out of Wawa's. So I want you to have a great day. It was just weird. People are doing so many nice things, paying it forward. And, it's just something. I love what I'm seeing on the positive side. And I want us to always stay engaging with each other like that, because we need each other. At the end of the day, no matter how much you make, we need each other to survive. We need each other.
It's a new common ground that we all have and never expected. So there are some silver linings, definitely.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We're gonna just wrap up real quick. Just a couple of things that will be coming in tomorrow's announcements, and then of course Ben and Kelly, if you have anything to add. So. In terms of new things for the announcements tomorrow, we've got another interest meeting for the Association of Black Social Work's undergraduate chapter that will be happening on May 3rd. So look for information about how to connect with that. And the schedule for De-Stress Fest, which is coming up on April 29th, is now out. So that'll be shared in the announcements as well. Lots of awesome activities all day long. There's meditation you can visit with, WCU's therapy dog, virtually, of course. Coloring and games, and I know Keeya, you mentioned music being helpful. There's going to be a kind of create your playlist activity, so lots of cool stuff to help de-stress and unwind on April 29th. So look out for that, and then some more Philadelphia resources related to COVID-19 as well. Ben, Kelly, anything you want to add before we wrap up?
Yeah, I just want to absolutely say thank you to Keeya. It's been a pleasure to work alongside you, but just to show the support in the community that our campus has, and that the Westchester and Philadelphia and the state system, the partnership that we share is amazing. And it's proven through this call and your connection. I thank you for using some holistic approaches, because that's also how we at Westchester are reviewing our applications and considering our students as well. So it all ties into just the greatness of our campus community. I like the way you use that word again. So that's it for everyone here. Thank you for tapping in, and continue to stay connected with us on Facebook and also on Instagram, and staying up to date with the things that we have going on. That's it for me.
Nothing from me, Marcy. I'll thank Keeya as well. Thanks, Keeya, so much for being here, and it's always great to see your face and hear your voice.
Great to see you guys as well.
All right. Well, that'll do it then for this week's Campus Connection.
Right.
Everyone have a fantastic Friday and weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Take
All right.
care.
Bye-bye.